Hello guys. So welcome to Cloud Learning channel, your platform to learn many things or many services about cloud computing, especially AWS and Docker at present. Okay, so today what we are going to do, we are going to discuss about AWS Lambda Function. Somebody requested me in comment section that they need a video for cloud Lambda section, so preparing this video. So go to Lambda function. It is very simple. Just go to services, then type Lambda there and you can find. And if you go to Lambda, just see first thing that run code without thinking about servers, right? So normally whenever you are doing anything, like you are preparing any script or you are preparing any program so that it can initiate a function, the first thing which we required is usually used to be a server, right? And this is the exact difference why it is different from other services, that Lambda only give you the console and you don't need to think about the backend servers or computing power obviously will be there, but it is managed in such a way that it is transparent and it is not visible to you, right? So you can do each and anything via just writing code, just uploading code, and you can trigger your functions or you can trigger your code very easily. How it do so, let me tell you. But before going to this, because you know many times there used to be very confusions like how Lambda, why it is working and how it is difficult and how much it is difficult and all other things, right? So first thing, like AWS Lambda run code without thinking of servers, so you don't need to think about that what the capacity they need and how much they are using. You don't need to think about that. Okay, so what is the benefit? No servers need to manage. You don't need to create or you don't need to manage any servers, right? Apart from this, you continuously scaling, like if they need in the backend like 4 servers, 5 servers capacity or multiple servers, it will automatically will manage. You don't need to take about that, right? Consistent performance, you will get a very good performance, and you will be only charged for every 100 milliseconds, right? So like if your function is getting executed and it took 10 minutes time, so you have to pay for 10 minutes. If it is in 100 millisecond, you have to pay for 100 millisecond. So this is like how the payment used to work. Now simply what you need to do, upload your code to AWS Lambda function. So here we need to understand, like we need to write a code. Okay, it works on the code basis. It is not like that you simply doing the things like creating a EC2 servers. If you have to create even EC2 servers, then you might need to write a code, right? So this is basically that you need scripting level knowledge if you want to use Lambda. Okay, so understand this, and how I will show you like how or where you have to write the code. Then set up your code and code to trigger from other AWS services, right? Other AWS services could be like your HTTP, your SNS, and whatever the other. Then AWS Lambda will execute your code, okay, and will prepare the things as you set up, or will do the things as you suggested, and you have to pay for the time your function run. Now use cases, if you go, there are a lot of use cases, right? And it has a lot of capacity to do the things. 1 or 2 examples I can give you, like suppose you want to earlier normally, because right now in EC2 lifecycle manager is there, but earlier it is not used to be, right? Then you have to define like at what time your backup should initiate on the daily basis, because every day you can't go and you can't just take the backup, right? So you have to prepare one script, and then you can schedule that script via Lambda function. You can schedule that script, and for a particular time that script get triggered and takes the backup for you, right? takes the ABS backup as per you define. Like you define that at 8 p.m. my backup job get start, and it take backup of EC2 servers for this, for which the backup is mentioned yes in ABS volumes, right? So for this you write a code, put it in Lambda function and trigger it every day for 8 p.m. So this is one example. For this you can do many other things, like if you want to forward the request to some other server, right? So you can execute, like if such kind of event happens, on the event basis you can trigger, right? So if such kind of event happens, the code, you write the code, and that the information should get forwarded to other servers to raise an incident, right? So that could be another advantage or another function, and lot of other things you can do via Lambda. Okay, so there are a lot of example and lot of companies which are using actually the Lambda functions. Okay, so I hope you find this information useful. Now let's see like how it works in Lambda console actually. So I will show you the major things which is required to create a Lambda function. So if you go, you just go to services, then Lambda, you find it, you will find such similar kind of console. Okay, just select your region for which you want to run your or set up your function. Now in dashboard, if you go, click. So if you go there, you can create a function. So for creating a function, there are few options, like you can use serverless repository where already a different kind of Lambda applications code is written there, so you can use that one. You can use the built-in user blueprint, like where already sample code and configuration preset are, for the normal cases it is already there. So here you will find sample Lambda applications, and here you will find sample code for few requirement, general requirement, right? And third option is from scratch, so you can write your code from scratch here. So we will have a look on this first. You just need to create a functions, like you can create a fast function. Now here is the key thing, that what will be your runtime environment. So suppose you are a Python developer, so you may write your code or script in Python 2.7 or Python, right? Whatever the version you want to use and whatever the version it supports. You can write the code in Java, you can write the code in Node, for each and everything. Now let me just I want to give you one more important information. For each and every language there is a API setup with the AWS, right? So you can write the code for AWS in Python 2.7 and similarly in other language, okay, due to which you will be able to access, or you will be able to connect with your this AWS account and can create the record as per your requirement. Got it? Now you created the function, given the function name, then you selected the runtime environment in which you want to write the code, and in which whatever you are comfortable you can use that one. Then there should be a rule which can allow to run all these things whatever required, right? So you have to give this permission to this test function, that suppose it need to create a EC2 server, so you have to give that permission to that role, that this Lambda function can create a EC2 server. So for that, related EC2 services will be permissions you need to give. Similarly, like if you want to use S3, bucket, SNS while setting up their function, while writing your code, you have to give this Lambda function, and you have to give that permissions to this role, so that this Lambda function can execute those triggers. Hope I'm clear till now. So simply create. You can use an existing role, as well as you can create a new role as well. So what I'll say that my functions got ready now. Okay, now here is the key thing. Sorry. So what you need to set up, you create a tested function. Then this is the main thing, right, where you are defining that what will be your runtime, and according to that you need to write your code. Okay, what you can do that you can, if you want, you can, there are a lot of samples you can find out into your Google, and there are a lot of inventory there you in AWS itself, which will provide you the given sample templates. You can use them if required, or you can, as I said, you can write your code. Okay, just write your code and copy and paste in this section. Okay, so this is one thing. Apart from this, you can add trigger. Add trigger means you can select like when this function should execute. Okay, so this is very important, like when this function should get triggered. So the code you have written, but that code when it should execute. So you have two things. One is cron job. So you can go to CloudWatch. Okay, and you can set up a schedule. Cron job is nothing, it is just a schedule, right? Because these terms sometimes will annoy you because you are not aware. Now you can create a rule. You can go to CloudWatch, then go to events. In events you can create a rule and you can select a schedule, and here you will find the cron expression. So you can Google it out. I just not want to make this video very large, but cron expression is nothing. It's just a like when this job should run. So it is like currently it is set up for every 5 minutes, I believe. So it is set up for like this, but you can set up as per your requirement, like every day, at what time you can do such things. You can just use this cron expression and you can schedule it, right? And there you can add target, and in target you need to execute the Lambda function. So if you set up this rule, this will be very easily, like at particular given time you can execute your Lambda function. So just select your Lambda function and you can set up. Very simple. How you can schedule your frequency of a Lambda function when it has to be executed. You can specify the given time, or you can choose some other options also which are there in CloudWatch. Okay, so this is how it's set up. Or you can do that it can set up on event basis as well. Like if somebody write data in this bucket 102, and you can choose like write data, so you can add this as a trigger. Okay, so if somebody will write data in this function, in this bucket, then only this will get executed. Then this is your function which will work. Okay, and you can also specify your destination, like when the execution run. So you can add the destination as well, like what kind of destination. Send invocation records of destination when a function is it will share the logs, that how it works, right? So where if you want to notify to someone, you can do this via add a destination, or the other options are also available there, right? Few more important things, which is like you can add the tags, related tags for you, right? And you can execute it for maximum 50 minutes, right? So now this is your timeout limit, that the function should execute in 3 seconds, which is sometimes is very less, and sometimes function also need the memory to use, right? So for that it should be like more than 128 if required. So you can go to edit and you can change this setting, and you can maximum go to 15 minutes. If I will try 16, it will not allow me, right? So maximum your function can execute for 15 minutes, and maximum memory it can utilize 3 GB. A simple function, right? if function is like that it execute for more than 15 minutes, Lambda will not work. Then this is your role, which role should be used. The network, you can which network it can use, or from which network this function should execute, right? So these are the important things which is required for a Lambda function. So I hope you got some clarity. And another thing, like you can also monitor your CloudWatch functions status, like how it performed in previous days. Okay, so such things you can do, like how it works in the previous day, like how many duration it took, so how many errors count, what was the success rate, kind of things you can check via monitoring sections, right? So these are the important things basically which are required to execute a Lambda functions. And now you might got the clarity, like where you have to write the code and why this is a serverless technology. And I believe you got the example also. So for the better clarity, you probably took the example like backup one, as I said, or the incident management creation via event trigger base. Such kind of things you can do. So hopefully you get the clarity of why we are using Lambda functions in our environment. Apart from this, if you are reached till this point, I will suggest you can subscribe this channel for similar kind of videos. And you can also take the free learning course here via Cloud Learning YouTube channel, or my website is also there. And if you go, you can also enroll in AWS dedicated courses, like AWS self-learning courses, which is like AWS English course, Hindi course, AWS practice exams, Google practice exams, Docker course in Hindi. So AWS Hindi and English, both courses are up. And if you are looking for self-learning, so these courses are very good, taken by more than 350 students, and they are very happy while doing self-learning. So you can sign up free, and if you want, you can get it at approximately 1500. This is as of now price. I'm not sure when you watch what will be the price. It might be on the higher side as well. Thanks again guys. Thank you for watching this video. Wish you a very good day.